God, we are an hour 23 in.
This is a long one.
Yeah, that's what she said. Ha! Mm. 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 Okay. Keep going.
No, I'm good.
And we're live for episode 7 of the Reseller Collab podcast.
It has been. We've been on a hiatus. I think
We have been. It's been a couple weeks.
it's been more than a couple. When
It's
did
been
you come?
nice for me.
When did you come down? It's been a month. It's been over a month.
29th. I know we were down there on 29th.
Yeah, it's been about a month. It's
Has
been
it been a
busy.
month? It's the 15th.
Yeah,
Oh, since we've done a
since we did
podcast.
a
Yeah,
podcast.
you're right.
It has been a little bit too long, but we've been busy, man. I've been really fucking busy.
Yeah. I got some of my death pile sorted out and listed on eBay.
I thought you were gonna stop it sorted out. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I did 33 listings. I wish I did 33 listings today, but in the past couple days I've put 33 items on there. It's money. And that's probably, I don't know, $1,500 or more that was just sitting around.
You should do a screen share of one of your eBay listings, those lamp listings, because those pictures are fucking phenomenal. Like,
Which one? The
both of
LSU?
them. There's the LSU lamp, and then there's that gold lamp.
That is a cool lamp. That is I almost want to keep that lamp. And it's so small. Like the bulb part of it is actually an automotive light bulb. I noticed that today.
Really?
Yeah, like before lights turned all LED, like tail lights and stuff, they had this bulb that you push in and you turn it.
It's about that long.
Yep.
And it had the two little things on the end.
Yep.
Kind of like a BNC connector almost.
I think I know what that is. God,
It's like the security camera. You use
yes.
The little track and spins in there.
Yeah, but it's the bigger bulb.
Yep.
But it is like that.
That's cool. That's cool. And that old stuff, man. That old stuff. No, I bet you that thing works like a charm.
Oh yeah, it works, and it's just cool. Like they took the time back then to, and it's probably, I think you would consider it mid-century modern, like 1950s, I guess. Isn't that what mid-century modern is?
Fancy talk.
But it's just got that, that design to it, like that look about it, where they actually, it wasn't all about function. It was also about like how it looked,
Yeah, here's the lamp right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the pictures are just awesome, but that's a really, really cool old school lamp. Like, just awesome.
It really is. And the picture kind of doesn't do it justice because the picture makes it look bigger than it is, but it's only, when it's folded down, it actually folds down into itself. It's about this big.
That's even cooler.
Yeah. So, yeah, you find some cool stuff thrifting, and that's one thing.
Not only do you find cool stuff, but you learn cool stuff.
That too, yeah. When I get bigger and better in this business and move on to bigger ventures, I think I'll still do the occasional thrifting, maybe weekly thrifting trips, just to find cool stuff like that, because it's, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to get nerdy about it, it's history. It's historical stuff. When you're dealing in the antiques and stuff. Some antiques don't interest me, like China and stuff like that, which I know there's a bunch of money to be made. I just don't know about it, so I can't go out there and pick pieces out.
Yeah, Yeah, there's a lot of that out there, especially you go to some of these estate sales, and a lot of times estate sales or family members have passed on, and they're clearing out the house, and so a lot of the stuff ends up being pretty old, and some of it, if you don't know what you're looking for, I mean, some of that stuff can be really valuable.
Yeah, very valuable. And I see people. That's one of the main reasons I love Instagram. And when I was on Facebook a lot, Facebook was the pictures and stuff and the bolos people post, like especially when it's vintage stuff and antique stuff. Like it's stuff that I would pass up every day of the week. Sometimes you see people post something that sold for $300-400 or $1,200 or whatever, and you're like, I would have walked by that all day long,
Hmm.
you know, and still would today, and until I see a post like that. It's all about learning. It's all about learning, man.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the one thing I learned, probably the first thing I learned during, um, like garage sale thrifting, is that if there's hair extensions, buy them. They are so. I mean, I my wife. One of the first things I sold was, usually the first thing you do is you start selling everything, that you don't need anymore. And my wife had her hair extensions from when we got married, and
You just gave her secret away.
and I
Everyone
I
knows now.
I told her, I said, hey, I said, how much do you think I can get for these? She's like, probably $100. And I was blown away. I was like, you're kidding me, right? And she says, yeah, that's about what I paid for them.
Wow.
And so yeah, sure enough, and it sold. It sold within a week. So I went to a
Within a
garage.
week?
Yeah, I went to a garage sale a few months back, and I was just kind of looking through, and they had 3 boxes of hair extensions, and they had a dollar sticker on every single one of them, and I was like, boom,
Got
three
him.
bucks, absolutely. And before, zero chance I would have ever paid any attention
You
to
probably wouldn't have
hair.
wanted to pick them up.
Or, yeah, I probably want to. Yeah, I didn't even
Like,
want to touch
even,
it.
exactly.
But yeah. So and it took them one I sold the first week, and then another
Let me
person.
interrupt you. Is there a certain brand or certain, region? Because I know that they're made in different places and made out of different stuff. Is there one, or just pick them all up?
I that's a good question. I don't know. I would buy anything. I would buy it all.
If for
And
that price. Yeah.
right, just because I don't really know exactly, what to look for. As far as different extensions, like the ones my wife had were like quality extensions. These um were a little bit different. So I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. So this is the one that I sold. And so, all I did was, it was brand new. I took the UPC out of the box, put it in Google, got that picture, and, sold all 3 of them. But it was a quick $3 turned into $90, you know, before fees and all that, pretty quickly.
Nice. That's the kind of ROI that you don't find uh, on Amazon. I mean,
Yeah.
you can, but you don't find it as often. You can go to a garage sale every weekend and find something with, over two, three, 400%
Easy.
ROI.
Easy. That's like what, 9,000%? 1 to 90? I think that's like 9,000% ROI. But and people don't know what, a lot of people, people that are selling the stuff, they just want to get rid of it. That's the best thing about garage sales,
Yep,
is
and
that they want it
it's what
gone.
separates them from a thrift store too.
Yeah.
It is, you just hit the nail on the head that they want it gone.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of Pure Hustle podcasts show, and he talks a lot about going into garage sales and just saying, hey, you don't ever have to look at it again. I'm like, man, that's a good line.
That is a
You
good
know,
line.
you will never have to see it again. I'm like, well, it's a good point, because that's actually that just hits the actual heart of it. That touches the person right exactly where they feel it, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of it, trying to
Hmm.
get out of their house. The wife's complaining.
Hmm.
The dog's barking. I don't know.
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I love garage selling when I can do it.
Yeah, and I bet I don't know. I would consider myself an introvert, but I have the ability to socialize, with people when I want to. I guess I don't have a problem, going up to a stranger and talking to them. But I can imagine if you're a strict introvert, I imagine going out and garage selling and stuff like that would be a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's difficult for um sometimes my wife, when she'll go, it's not going out there that's the difficult, it's asking for a better deal. Like that's the part that she struggles with. It's asking, and not wanting to offend somebody.
It's an art. It is an art. It takes finesse to, like you just said, to not offend somebody, because you can offend somebody quickly.
Hmm.
But I love your, you know, the way you do it. You'd say, well, hey, look, if you're willing to come down to that, if you ever change your mind, here's my number. Give
Hmm.
me a call. That's
Another good reason to have business cards when you're out and about.
yeah. Do you
But
recommend having anything specific on your business card? Because to me, business cards can be used for a couple different purposes, and not every one of those purposes would be the same. Like, would need the same information on there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're, I don't know, if you're talking to a store manager, you know, I don't know.
like the one that I use is and I hope can you read that?
Yeah.
So at the very top it says I pay cash for unwanted goods.
Oh,
And
I
so
like that.
it's kind of it's very simple. It has my logo, has my web address and my email, and on the back I put some kind of things that I look for. I just hand it to them and I just say, hey, you know, if you ever go lower, or if garage sales, if there's a lot of stuff, say, hey, if you want somebody to come pick this stuff up for free, and, if you want to give it away after you're done, that's another good way to do it. The problem with that is you end up with a lot of junk, but you could still make some money off of it if you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, junk people. That's one of the problems with putting information out there, like that you buy stuff. I don't. I think the good outweighs the bad, but you do get a lot of people that are like, "Hey, I got all this stuff," and you look at the pictures and you're like, "No, you got a bunch of
Mhm.
crap.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of stuff that somebody stored in a storage unit that they didn't really want, but they didn't really want to get rid of it.
Hmm.
Kind of crap."
This guy on Facebook Marketplace today, he had a video game lot, and it was 10 video game systems and a whole bunch of games. He was asking 585 for it, and you look at, it was a bunch of Super Nintendos, and all the Super Nintendos were yellow. The plastic had turned yellow. Most of the games were sports games, which are worthless except for one NCAA year. Um, so it, they thought they had a good lot, but when you look at it, it's like, man, I wouldn't pay 100.
Right. I mean, was it vintage stuff or was it?
Yeah, no, most of it was Super Nintendo. Some of there was some Sega Genesis in there too, um, but the majority of it was Super Nintendo, and then a ton of sports games. And for those of you who don't know, sports games, obviously they go out of date and lose their value tremendously because the next year you got new players, all the ratings, all the rosters are updated. um, but there's one exception to that, and it's NCAA, and I don't
2014.
yeah, 2014. um, and it's because it was the last time that EA was allowed to make a college
I thought
game.
it was because of some kind of rule uh, in the game, like the actual real life game that had changed that year.
No, what it had to do with was the fact that the players there it was kind of a dispute regarding using the players' likenesses and their numbers. The NCAA games never had names on them; they had never had it. However, you know, the stats matched up to, you have a quarterback that's 6'5", white, black, Hispanic, whatever. Well, in the game, number 12, well, in the game, he'd be number 12, same height, same weight, same skin color. And so using their likeness was deemed, um, you know, I, I don't know what
Kind of
the
like copyright infringement or IP
kind of,
infringement,
yeah,
or
I don't know what the legal mumbo jumbo is, but
because they weren't paying
anyways,
them,
right, right. The players weren't getting paid for it, but they're on the video game.
and they
So,
can't. College players can't get paid, right?
correct, correct. And so they couldn't, EA wouldn't even be able to say, "Hey, I would give you $1,000 if we can use your likeness." They couldn't. The players wouldn't be able to accept that money. So, anyways, that last NCAA year was the last of the college games, and that's what made it so. That's what makes that year so popular.
Interesting, huh?
And that's a big debate. They'll eventually get to where college players will start getting paid because those universities are just rolling in money.
Yeah.
They get everything. They get every penny. So I think, in the future, once the players do get some sort of payment, whether it be just a flat payment or a flat amount, whatever, I think you'll start seeing those NCAA games come back, which will be really cool because I enjoyed playing them simply because, I went to Northwestern State and, you know, most people out there are like, where's that? But I could play that college,
Yeah.
and it, for some people who are more into college football than professional, it kind of sucks that they don't make those games anymore.
What's the thinking behind not paying the players? Is it kind of a conflict of interest
Yeah.
because the players are actually students as well, and if there was some kind of monetary incentive that there would kind of need to be an incentive for them to pass
I think the main thing
their
is,
classes?
well, I think the main argument is the fact that these players are all on scholarship. So technically, the university is paying them a certain amount. I mean, paying them, but they're paying for their college. They're getting a free education, and they consider that their payment. And so, if a student was to be getting endorsement deals and things of that nature, then they may not take advantage of that scholarship. And these schools offer these player scholarships so they can win games and put you know butts in the seats and get more revenue. And so it's kind of like they're kind of wanting to keep them kind of under their thumb, I guess you could say. But I'll be honest, that's not the only line of thinking. I mean, you can go down a really long wormhole talking about college and getting paid and not getting paid. And a matter of fact, I want to say it was last year, one school got really close to unionizing, and it came down to I believe a federal or a state court. I don't know what court it was, but they shot it down. But it was like the first time that a college team had started to form that union, and it was people kind of lost their shit about it. But I'm telling you, it'll come eventually. They're making way too much money. I mean, the NFL. I mean, think about it. The NFL. They get they get billion and billions of dollars just on TV rights.
Do you
That's
think it would rival? Do you think it would compete with the NFL and stuff if they paid the college players? I mean, you'd have like 10th year seniors and stuff, I imagine.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, they would just
eligibility.
stay in college. Just they know they're not going to make it to the NFL, so they're just like, let's just keep playing.
Now there's
I don't know.
eligibility things where you're only eligible so many years. Um, it's either 4 to 5 years depending on how you do it. But
Yeah,
um, I don't think so. But I mean, if the money, the billions of dollars these universities are getting,
yeah.
and they're not sharing it. They build beautiful colleges, beautiful campuses, and they have great, everything. Uh, but it's like those players are really riding those players' backs to get that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. It on the surface it sounds something sounds like
Yeah, well,
it's a
and it,
little
but then you
fucked
then
up.
think about it. You'd have like Texas A&M. Every week they're filling 100,000 seat stadium. Um, Not to mention all the merchandise, TV rights, all that good stuff, all that money, and then they charge you know $50,000 a semester to an out of state an out of state student. I mean, think about it. In my opinion, in a perfect world, they should be using that money to lower tuition. But
That's
again,
a good point.
we're gonna get off way off if we
Yeah,
keep
yeah. I
going.
think we already have. We're probably gonna have to cut most of this out. That was a long. I mean, we've been on for 30 minutes,
Yeah,
and and we haven't really talked much about anything. I'll go ahead and start. Uh, okay, so last year, a buddy of mine got me into a what they call like a Q4 group. It's a WhatsApp group, which is a messaging app on your phone. And basically, it was just a bunch of people. I think in that group there were roughly 25 to 30 people, and you stay in that group all Q4. September, October, November, December, sometimes January, February. We were still showing some stuff, but and you just post bolos. Like you just post, what you saw out at the store, what was a good deal, what you can make money on at Amazon, FBA or MF or whatever. And it's just a good way to kind of have a little bit of a close knit group of people that you all have the same goal, and you can just share tips and tricks and like I said, bolos and stuff. It's really, I think it's beneficial, very beneficial to get into a group like that. And there's a bunch of them that are free. You can start your own. I just think I think it's beneficial. We're part of, what are we part of, like 3 now?
yeah, we got 3 going.
We got our own, and then we got one from last year, and then a new one that popped up this year. And some of it's fluff. Some of it, you can tell it is just kind of, they're running it to maybe propagate their own agendas, but
It's almost like if you've ever been to like a timeshare meeting.
oh, that's good. That's a good analogy because that
It's
is,
like
yeah,
you basically just sit down and they tell you how good life can be, and then everything's good and you have a great conversation and everything, everything's roses, and at the end it's the hard sell, and it's just
they're like, hey, okay, so
come buy our shit,
if
please.
you guys got value out of this, if you see the value in it, tell everybody you know and buy our course. Now, I don't know if they're pushing a course or anything, but to me, I can ignore all that stuff. If I make, I was gonna say if I make my money back on the group, but I didn't pay anything for the group, so
Yeah.
it's already paid for. But if I make some money off of it, I don't care. I don't care about all the mindless babble that sometimes goes on and all. But
I think one of the things with those groups though is that our most useful group has 4 members in it.
yeah,
So like it doesn't have to be a massive group with thousands and thousands of people. um it's even more valuable to have it be just 4 people that are like literally dedicated, and they like, yeah, we all share our bolos, we all like brainstorm, we all think about ways that we can do better. And I mean, I get so much more out of that group than I do anything else, because it's like we're kind of a collective brain when it comes to strategies and things like that.
yeah, we all, there's no guessing what all of our goal is. It's all the same goal, which in some of these other groups, like the group that we got added to this year has 100 members, 100 different people in there. And maybe 25 of them post on a regular basis, but all those 100 members aren't the same skill level. They don't all have the same goals. They don't all have the same knowledge. And in our small group, we're all within a couple years of each other as far as experience goes. We all have the same goal. We're all working towards full time. If actually, as a matter of fact, my mentor, the guy that's in the group, he just went full time this week.
Did he really?
He did. He did. I forgot to tell you that. Yep. He quit his
Awesome.
job. So that makes three of us that's full time. So
That's awesome.
it's time to hurry up, sir.
It's gonna be a while for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You got it. Yeah, I'd probably keep that job forever. You wanna talk a little bit about Amazon merchant fulfilled shipping templates? Are you ready to talk about that? I know for a lot of our viewers, this is a sticking point. And for a long time, I didn't want to set up my shipping template because it was so daunting of a task. You look at it and you're like, holy crap, you have to pick every single state and all this stuff. And, what am I offering free shipping on? What am I calculated shipping? Is there going to be a flat rate shipping? Is there going to be per pound? There's all this kind of stuff that you have to set up. And I think it holds a lot of people back from, doing seller fulfilled prime and just doing merchant fulfilled orders, period. So if you wanna take it away and kind of show people what that's all about, how to set it up, maybe a little quick run through.
Yeah, so I will screen share here real quick, and I'm not gonna go through like how to like step by step how to create one, but because it's relatively simple, but you have to, I guess, first have an idea of what a shipping template is, and so up in your settings, if you just go to shipping settings, it'll take you to your templates, and now the only one that I have added is this one. It's oversized non-prime. I created that. The default template is always going to be this migrated template. If you have enough history on your account, you will get offered to do seller fulfilled prime. And as you can see right here, it says you've enrolled in seller fulfilled prime. So I can offer nationwide prime, regional ground and air, and regional prime ground. So I'll give you kind of example of what customers
Now,
pay.
did you make those? Did you name those regional prime, ground, and nationwide prime?
No, the
Oh,
only one,
okay.
this one right here is the only one that I created.
Okay.
These, this one's going to be your default. If you enroll in Seller Fulfilled Prime, you will get these three options.
Okay, so it automatically throws those in there.
Yep. So, for instance, Regional Prime, I have in its ground. That means, it's going to get standard shipping to these locations and 2-day delivery only to Texas, Eastern Texas, and Louisiana, because that's the only way you can get to something in 2 days by just using ground. Okay.
Oh.
So, for instance, Prime customers, this is 100% free. Standard
So
shipping.
let me interrupt. Did Amazon set up that Southern Texas, Eastern Texas, Louisiana? Did they set that up, or did you set that up?
Nope, this is all based on your location.
Oh
They do it
wow,
for you.
that's awesome. So
Yeah.
you don't have to calculate. That's cool.
Yeah, Amazon does all of this for you. And if you noticed on these, you can edit this. So you can edit this template and you can add, like, say for instance, I'll click edit here, and say I want to, I have who knows, a good deal with a local FedEx vendor, and instead of Texas and southeastern, or excuse me, Texas, southern Texas, and eastern Texas, I can do. Um,
Southern Oklahoma or something.
yeah, and actually, if you look at it, they won't even allow you to change any rules on this, um, simply because Amazon won't allow you to do anything that could jeopardize this 2 days.
So you just lied to us.
Yeah, pretty much on that one. Yeah, but if you see these right here, standard shipping, you can add new shipping rules. So when you click add new shipping rules, you can edit these, select your regions, lower 48. You can American Samoa. You can all these different options. You can you can edit and kind of play with. But when it comes to seller fulfilled Prime, you are really handcuffed to a lot of customization simply because um, Amazon is they just won't let you do anything that will jeopardize the delivery time. And not only will they not allow you to do it if a customer, say for instance, a customer gets 2 day delivery, they order by 11 a.m. They select 2 day delivery for free, Prime customers. And let's say for whatever reason something happens and I wait till the next day to ship this, I have to overnight this package
Wow.
because right, I have to overnight this package to this customer and it's going to cost me a fortune.
If you get the order before 11 a.m. and you
Correct.
don't ship that day.
Yep. So if a customer orders it, 10:59 a.m. and I don't ship it that day, the next day Amazon will force me to buy their shipping 1 day overnight air.
They force it so it pulls up.
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
So when
or
you
it's the only option rather.
yeah, it's the only option you have. They'll gray out everything else
I take it
because
you did this.
no, I almost did. So I'll kind of show you why I created my my plans because I didn't make that big of a mistake on the delivery because all my stuff has gone out when it's supposed to. But the mistake I made was when I added the product, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to go back real quick and kind of go back to things that I have set up. So I'm going to go to oversized prime. Now, the reason why I call it oversized non prime is number one, I'm not offering prime. So I'm not really eligible for, yeah, I don't have priority buy box eligibility. I have to have really low price to get the buy box.
Let me stop you
But
right there, Jeff, and leave. No. Uh okay, let me stop and kind of tell people what the advantage of doing seller fulfilled prime is. Uh when you have a buy box that somebody is prime, most of the time, let me rephrase that. Most of the time, when there's a buy box, it's held by somebody that is a prime seller. Meaning prime customers can get their items in 2 days for free. So if you're doing merchant fulfilled and you have the same price as that person that's doing FBA, you won't get the buy box. But if you do seller fulfilled prime, which is basically merchant fulfilled, that you guarantee you can have to somebody in 2 days, you can also be just as eligible. Like you're on a level playing field with those FBA guys, right?
yep, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but Amazon again, they're extremely strict, and in order to keep that Prime badge, you have to meet those expectations. And I mean,
Have you found that
99
hard?
no, 99% of the time, you have to. And the only time I ever choose like nationwide Prime or regional Prime is when something is under a pound. If it's over a pound, it's extremely expensive.
Let me
Um,
ask you this: can you do first class? You
yeah,
said when it's under a pound. Okay.
absolutely. Yep, and that's why I only offer Prime on under a pound because it's flat fee, it's flat rate, right? So first class is flat rate. It doesn't fluctuate based on where it goes. It only fluctuates based on weight.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to worry about it. So what I did was I created an oversized non-prime, and so what I do is basically a customer gets free economy shipping anywhere they want it. Okay. Standard shipping, again, free anywhere they want it. Now, if a customer chooses 2 day delivery, I have edited my the cost. I give a flat 10.99 fee per order plus 99 cents per pound. So for instance, if this item is 20 pounds, I'm getting paid basically $31. So I get 20 pounds at a dollar. So that's $20 plus the 10.99. And that will generally cover 2 day shipping, depending on the item.
How did you come to figure that out?
I watched some YouTube videos on kind of how to how to kind of where the middle ground is when
Can
it
you tell
comes
us
to
what you searched so our viewers can kind of search it when and if they want to set this up? uh, maybe we can kind of shout out someone else.
Yeah, I don't remember the actual video, the person that I got it from. However, on YouTube, if you just type in Amazon shipping templates, it'll there give you a lot of choices based on what you're kind of looking for. So if you're looking
Okay.
for prime templates, if you're looking for oversized, undersized, all that good stuff, you can find it. And so on one day delivery, I added a $50 fee per order plus $6 in addition. So this is what I use on almost all of my items that are over a pound. Now,
So, and you don't get the Prime badge for that, right?
nope, you don't get the Prime badge, you don't get the Prime buy box.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Here's what you gotta worry about, and I'll do it really quick. I'm gonna add a fake product here. We're gonna call it. Let's just go Sheba. So, so for instance, a Toshiba. So I want to sell this Toshiba. I have a DVD recorder, and I want to sell mine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is in here. This is what you'll normally see. I say, okay, I got this at Goodwill, $40, $49, and I'm going to price this. I'm looking over here. Got used 239. I'm not going to go into it too much, so I'm just going to say 200. Just leave it there. Quantity one, select condition, use good, whatever. So now, do not hit this button. Don't hit that button. Now, the reason why I say don't hit that
For those of
button.
you just listening, what he did was he went in like he was gonna he just went into the add products page and then typed in Toshiba and picked a random DVD recorder, and then he went to the offer page where it allows you to put in what your quantity is, what your price is, if you're wanting to do merchant fulfilled. And what he's talking about now, don't hit, is the save and finish button. Uh, there you go ahead.
Yeah, good call. I keep forgetting people are
Yeah, me too. I
not
mean,
everybody's
we're new to
watching.
this, so we we'll get better at trying to remember people that aren't just watching the video itself. We do actually get quite a bit of views or listens through podcasts.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the save and finish that you don't want to hit. Okay. You look at the top right where it says advanced view. This is what you want to click. Once you click advanced view, it opens up all of these other options. So it gives you, can start a sale date, you can start but sale price, and you can add MSRP. You can do a condition note like, no remote is a very common one. Tax codes, handling time. So if you need extra handling time, you can put that on there. But here's where this will cost you a whole lot of money is the shipping template line, because it automatically defaults to migrated template. Now the shitty thing about that is that if you don't catch this and you sell that item, that customer now has the option to get 2 day shipping and 1 day shipping at very, very cheap cost. So for instance, I had an item that was a 2 day to Colorado, and I forgot to change my template, so I got no extra money, to cover that shipping, and it cost me about $50 on top of, I essentially made nothing on the item. Um, because it automatically defaulted to this migrated template. So when you click on here, all I do is I change it to my oversized non-prime template. I can change the image if I need to change the image, and I can hit save and finish, and then it'll list on my it'll be available for purchase thereafter. Now, if you don't, like say for instance, if you leave it on migrated template and you hit save and finish, just make sure that once that thing pops up on your inventory screen, it usually takes a few minutes, that you change that template, or else it's going to cost you money, especially on items that weigh 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah,
It could be a big issue.
I've done the same thing with the migrated template last Q4 when the Nintendos came out. The original retro or original classic Nintendos, the
Yeah.
retro ones, the little bitty ones. When they came out, that was the first merchant fulfilled product that I had ever done, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, just go in and set up your shipping templates." Well, I didn't think about it or I didn't do it. I don't remember what happened, but I started getting these orders for these things, and it was under the migrated template, and I'm like, holy crap! Like I got to pay for this stuff out of my pocket, yeah. And that's basically what you have to do. So like you said, don't hit that save and finish button on an item until you have your shipping template set up right. I want to touch on something else too that you kind of brought to mind when you were saying about that migrated template. If you use Inventory Lab, you can set up merchant fulfilled listings in Inventory Lab, and it will send it to Amazon. Well, the first thing that I thought after I hit submit through Inventory Lab was it didn't let me change my shipping template. So what shipping template is it gonna default to? Well, luckily they thought about it. So what it does, or at least the last one. So don't take my word for this. I don't want to cost you a bunch of money. But what happened when I hit submit is it sends it to Amazon as an incomplete listing. So it will not go active until you change some things. One of which being the shipping template itself. So it's kind of good. It just leaves it in at the top of your inventory in an inactive status. So I thought, it was like, man, that's pretty cool. So you can, so if you're one of the people like me that loves to have a custom SKU with your date that you bought it, the price you bought it, where you bought it, all that stuff, I can't do without that stuff now. So if you like to do that stuff, you can just actually create those merchant fulfilled listings through Inventory Lab. Pretty cool.
That is cool. That is cool. And there are also some people that use the seller app on your phone. You can add stuff straight from your seller app, which I haven't really messed with, but you can when you scan you scan an item, you go add product, scan an item at the very bottom. You can submit it, and
that's how I added those Nintendos, and I think they sold before I got home. They all sold before I got home. I only got like 3 or 4 of them, but yeah. Have you ever heard of people, and this is not something I'm advocating, have you ever heard of people going into a store and scanning an item and listing it merchant fulfilled and never buying it?
That's,
I do not advocate this. And if you've done it, I'm not saying that you should admit it. Okay, so
I have thought about that. So here's the thing with that. It's not a bad idea, but you got to do it. If you're doing it on seasonal items, you got to do it like you have to be there at the beginning.
You're shooting yourself in the foot if you're going to do it on a seasonal item, I think.
Well, I think you could say that regardless, but there's some items that gosh, I would just I think I could do that on, but I don't have the time to kind of keep up with that, because I feel like if you get enough items in there, it's going to get to the point where it's just like
it'll backfire on you.
It's just too much to handle. I'm cross posting electronics on eBay and Amazon now. I have enough problem keeping up with that. I can, what do you do
when you say problem with that? For people that don't know, the problem is if you sell something that you have cross posted, which is just basically posting the same listing on Amazon as you have on eBay. Usually on Amazon you're able to get more money for it, but you have them listed. So if this thing sells on Amazon, you immediately have to go to eBay and take that listing off, or take that quantity out, so it shows you don't have any. Because if you sell that item twice, you'll be in trouble. I think you have a story from the other day about that.
I had a Brother typewriter. It's a word processor, and it was I got it at Goodwill. It was $10, and then they had 30% off, so it was like $6 or something. And cleaned it up. It came with a floppy disk, so it was some lady's like, I was like, I don't know what it was. But anyways, it tested, worked great, cleaned it up. Listed it on eBay, listed it on Amazon. I had it on eBay for, I think it was $50 plus shipping. And then I had it on Amazon for $200, free shipping. And it sold on eBay overnight. And then So my my wife boxes it up, delivers it to the postal annex, and then I get a notification. Boom, your item has sold $200 on Amazon. So I call my wife. I said, "Go get that damn package." So
So
she
she
went.
had already dropped it off and they'd scanned it.
Yeah, so she had to go up there and get the package and bring it back.
How did
Um,
they did did she
they
have to
had
do an intercept or something? Or?
no, it was just they hadn't had their pickup for the day, so we got lucky. So
I
she
didn't
just went
think
up.
they would give it back to you. I mean, I guess they don't really have a choice, but I would think it would be a little bit more technical to
No,
get it out of their
just
system.
picked it up, took it, and then put a different label on top of the old label, sent it in, wrote an email to the customer saying sorry, we're unable to sell this item. We apologize.
So you just took the hit on eBay.
No, I canceled. I selected buyer canceled. I always select buyer canceled on that, so you doesn't hit your metrics
And you've never gotten anybody
once.
give you a bad feedback for that
Once, yeah,
once? Yeah.
yeah. But you know, even the eBay people at eBay Open, they're like, nobody gives a shit about feedback. They just don't. And I mean, I think back in the day, feedback on eBay was bigger. Today, it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't.
I think customers know that they have the upper hand against sellers nowadays. So they don't need to judge you based on your merit or based on your metrics anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still requirements. You got to keep it above a certain amount. But I mean, there's some shitty sellers out there that have like 88% feedback, and they're still selling stuff, and it's like, okay,
There's some shitty big sellers.
yeah, there really are. And Toys R Us was one of them. Toys R Us had terrible feedback. Not terrible, but in terms like they had like 94%, feedback, and
That's bad when you're running that big of operation.
every single one of them was they said that the item was out of stock. That was the main complaint that customers had on their page, was that the items were always out of stock, and they never got their items, and blah 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 blah, and which you know it is what it is. But
Well,
I I do want to talk real quick. Something that I had to learn the hard way was eBay, or not eBay, FedEx. If you're ordering wholesale supplies excuse me, if you're ordering products from wholesalers, and like for instance, if you're ordering a pallet and that you require liftgate services because you're working out of your house, they charge for that.
let's tell our viewers what liftgate service is. For people that aren't familiar, that have never been in the business and stuff, as far as retail or big stuff, they might not know even what you're talking about. A liftgate service. So when you get a pallet of product, most businesses have a dock, a shipping dock. So that 18 wheeler will back right up to the dock, and then you can get a pallet jack and just pick that pallet up and just roll it right into the building. Well, at your house, you obviously don't have a shipping dock, so they can't just roll that off the truck because there's nothing there. It would just roll. It'd be like that video you see where that guy, oh God, it's so horrible. That guy has that pallet of stuff, and he just rolls right off the end of the truck, and it just,
Yeah.
oh, it's horrible. But
That's funny.
so you have to have what they call a lift gate, which is a hydraulically actuated gate. So basically, they can roll that pallet jack with that pallet on it out to the end of the truck and then lower it down and then take it to your house. So that's what he's talking about when he refers to lift gate.
Yep. So and it costs, I think I got a bill for like 120 something dollars is what it cost. Because they have to have if they have a truck kind of make a special delivery straight to your house.
It's a different truck too. It's not
Yeah.
the
It's
one that
not a
came to my
standard.
house wasn't an 18 wheeler. It was basically a huge box truck.
Yep. Yep. And one of the other things that I found out was when you get, at least in this case, when you get your tracking information on a freight shipment, delivery date is the delivery to the FedEx warehouse. And so, for instance, if you have to get liftgate services scheduled, that delivery date isn't a delivery to your house. It's a delivery date to the FedEx hub, and then they will call you to schedule delivery, which, I had to learn the hard way because I was like, wait a minute, it says it's supposed to be delivered on Tuesday. I'm ready for it Tuesday. Like, no, that's the date that it's supposed to be delivered to our shipping
So
hub.
they always call you.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll call you unless you have like an account where you have it set up and automated. I believe you can do it that way. But like if you're having regular deliveries, that would be different. But if it's kind of like a one-off type delivery, the delivery tracking is to the shipping hub, and then they give you a date. They'll say, well, we can get it to you between this. That's kind of like a furniture delivery. We can get it to you between 2 and 4 on a Friday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just some things that I didn't really understand at first.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because it's residential, because they see it as
Probably.
residential that they're like, no, we're calling, because I it's a
Could be.
whole it's a whole truck they're sending, and I know when I got mine, they had like most of the truck was empty. It only had a couple pallets on it. It wasn't full. There in Houston, it may be different because they probably got a whole bunch more,
Mm-hmm.
stops and stuff. But it was a dedicated truck just for people that needed liftgate service.
Yep. Yep. So, anyways, be prepared.
Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. Uh, let me talk about something here. Get on my soapbox. I know I never do that.
Never.
I appreciate that. Look, guys, just don't compare yourself to all these people you see on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. These people, most of the time, it's not real. I'm not saying it's always not real, or that these people are even trying to be frauds or fake you out, or just anything. The reason I'm saying that is because all you see is one piece of the puzzle. You don't see everything else. You don't see their day-to-day costs. You don't see their shipping costs. You don't see their, the debt that they've accrued to get all this inventory that they're selling for, if you got somebody that's buying, or selling $100,000 worth of inventory a month, and they have $200,000 worth of debt, that's not going to show on their Instagram. What's going to show on their Instagram is that cool orange bar chart, that bar graph that shows 100,000 in sales. That means nothing. You can literally tell nothing about that business. You can't tell how much profit they're making. You can't tell how much debt they have. You can't tell whether they're in the black or the red. It's not productive to compare yourself to those people. Use it as a tool. Use it as a motivational tool, but don't use it to beat yourself up because you don't think you are where you should be in this business.
And it is so easy to lie. Like literally, I think we found an Instagram account, or you found one
Earlier today.
that's probably taking pictures of empty boxes and then putting here, or hell, they could be. I don't care. They could be full, but they're sure it's fucking $5,000 in profit. In these boxes, you're not getting $5,000 of profit on Halloween decorations. You
It
know,
would.
it
Let me
was only
stop
like
here.
there's only like 20 boxes. So it wasn't much. Small box.
Some of them were. One of the posts it said it was like 5K. It was only like 6 boxes. I'm like, okay, it's doable, but the entire rest of the Instagram was selling a class. So I'm like,
The
God, that is
name,
so
the name,
dirty.
the name of it had
It,
class in it. The name of the
yeah,
Instagram account. It's just
it
you
makes
know
you angry. It makes me angry.
they wouldn't be around if people weren't falling for it though. I mean that's the sad fact about it.
Who,
Is it
I mean, who wouldn't follow that? Who wouldn't, fall for that? Well, I mean, I wouldn't
I wouldn't
now,
either.
but I think we had a lot of breaks that some people don't get. We knew other sellers is one of the main things, one of the main advantages I think we had over other sellers.
Yeah.
If you don't have any friends in this business, man, you could you could really fall down a lot of rabbit holes. You could get yourself in a lot of trouble by following the wrong people, and you may not know that they're the wrong people until it's too late. Until you've given them thousands of dollars or whatever. That you know, you find out that you could have learned all of that for free on YouTube on the
You know,
Reseller Collab podcast.
yeah,
Swipe up,
yeah.
like,
I,
comment, share,
subscribe.
subscribe,
Um,
hit that bell.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a. I just, I hate salesmen. I mean, I've sold things. I
Yeah,
take,
I
I
mean
gotta
we,
take,
and it's crazy because we are all salesmen,
but it's just, I just hate that. I hate that the people.
salesy.
Yeah, it's the just disingenuous, just like
It's creepy. It's kind of
it's like adults treating other adults like they're children, and like it's like you're gonna get a gold star if you do this, and it's just like I don't know. It just pisses me off sometimes.
cringeworthy.
I hate I hate that we have people in America that react to that, or that they'll like I don't know, they like that shit, and they'll like say, "Here, give me my here's $5,000. Teach me how to do something," and it's just I don't know. It makes me sad.
It kind of it's crazy. You kind of weed out the people that are really gonna make it. Because the people that are really gonna make it are gonna, in my opinion, are going to dig deep, and they're gonna learn, the hard way, and learn through actual reading and researching and everything. I think the allure, some of those courses and stuff is that, oh man, they're basically going to download this information into my brain and then I'm going to be rich. No, no.
No.
They're giving you the same information that people on YouTube are giving away free. They're giving
Yeah,
you the same information. Nothing changes until you get up to like $1 million seller.
yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or $1 million. Like,
So there's this one account, and I'll be honest, it's the first account that I ever thought I'm like, if this dude ever came out with a course, I might go for it, And listen, I said that before I really got into wholesale. Because this guy, like, he fucking knew everything about wholesale. He's very, very popular on Instagram. Um, and I'm sitting and watching this guy, and I'm like, man, he's real. Like, I mean, I just feel like he's real. Like, he's coming at me real. He's giving me, these tips, and he's not pushing anything. It's just what he does on a daily basis. No frills, no nothing. And there's a couple tutorials in there on how to do things. And then, lo and fucking behold, here comes, hey guys, in September, I'm thinking about launching a course. And I'm like, all right. Like, now I get, like, now, like, you're done with me. Like, I'm sorry. And listen, if you're running a course and you're making money, you make money however you want to make money. I don't care. But to me, it's just like, no. Like, when you start putting out, like, something very popular is these stupid, um, ungating lists that people put out. They'll put out a list of all these ASINs, like this is how you get ungated and all these things. Send me your email and I'll send you this. This how to get ungated in these products. And for new sellers, you're not going to get ungated in any of that shit.
mm-mm.
Like, I'm sorry, like you just not. Like, me and you are just now starting to really get to that like performance level ungating. Like, it's getting to that point now. But you're sending these people this false hope, and you're getting their email in return, and then you're going to use that information in the future to try to sell them on this bullshit that that really they could just, if it's just fake, man. I don't know. I'm getting fired up just thinking about it. It's fucking fake. All of it is.
Yeah.
Now, when I say all of it, listen, there's good stuff out there, I'm sure. I'm just saying, for me, once I started to realize and started, the more I got into Amazon, the more I could identify that bullshit and be like, these guys, they're selling snake oil is what they're selling.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really kind of irritates me is is when you see these people that are just, they're single moms, and or they're, they're people that want to, that really need like the money, and you're gonna sit there and you're knowingly gonna sell them stuff that that they can, they can get on their own. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's false promises of, hey, you're gonna get all this money if you buy my course. You're gonna be making, six figures just like me. Which is,
Yeah, that man, I see people all the time that just want an easy way out. And
hey, let me hold on real quick. Listen, if you're one of those people that want the easy way out, you've wasted all your money. I don't care.
you've
Like, I
wasted
don't
your
have.
time listening to our podcast.
Yeah, yeah. But like, if that's where they get their money from, that's okay. That's okay. If you're like, I just want to say, like, I got money to spare. Yeah, teach me how to do this. I want to make money and do nothing. I had a roommate in Austin that's all he did was these get rich quick schemes. That's all it was. But there was no work behind it. It was like, hey, you can rent vending machines, and we'll put these vending machines in the malls, and you can make these residual income off these vending machines.
Yep.
But they take all your money, all your savings on all these franchise setup fees and all this other shit. Like, that's how they get their money.
I've had friends that have, every time they contact you, it's going to be a new scheme or a new pyramid deal or multi-level marketing. And, I kind of lost friends before over that because I just called them like, hey, man, I want to be your friend, but I don't send me this stuff anymore because I don't want to be in a multi-level marketing scheme. It's pyramid to me. It's all pyramid,
Yeah,
If your product's good enough, put it out in the market. Don't sell it through, your aunt and your uncle and your friends and all that stuff. Just don't push me with that stuff. I hate that.
yeah. But I'm also one of those people that you're just not gonna be able to sell anything to me. I don't know. I just don't get sold to. I am sorry. I don't trust anybody. But regardless, I know it was a little bit of a rant, but if you're thinking about it, just give it some time. Just give it some time. Like, I know, and I know you may think that, this could speed up your timeline of making that money by like six. Hey man, maybe I can skip 6 months of this knowledge, and that could be true to some extent, but you learn off making the mistakes. You have to make the mistakes, and you have to screw up and do these things. Then that's where the real learning experiences come from.
Bingo.
And that's just something that you're not going to get. You can't pay for that stuff.
That's right. That's an excellent point. You can't pay for the failures that cost you money. Those failures are actually, you're not paying for that failure. You're paying for that lesson. You're paying for that education you just got.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's just, you got. It's just not the right way to do it. I think one of the things.
It's a little bold for us to say it's not the right way because, who's to say? But I agree with you.
I think if it's beginner classes, I mean, I would see value. I don't know hardly anything about private label, right? So, I mean, I know the basics and things like that. And I could see, sourcing your suppliers and your advertising and all that stuff. That can get kind of wishy washy. And I can understand, going through like a private label type, course maybe, but
Yeah.
even that you can still do that research on YouTube. There's tons of people giving away that information for free. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to each his own, but I just feel like if you just give it some time, you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't pay all that money.
Yeah. And I don't want people to think that like our end goal is to provide a course or anything like that. That's not really our end goal. We like talking to each other and we like, just providing quality content and stuff for people. We may eventually monetize some of it through like Patreon or something like that, but it would just be, views and whatnot. It wouldn't actually be like, hey man, come buy our course. We gave you all this free information. Like, got you now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it to make money for myself. I think the last thing we got on the agenda here is, God, we're an hour 23 in.
This is a long one.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
she
what she
said.
said. Ha! Okay, that's so horrible. That's horrible. We watch way too much Office. Custom labels on eBay.
Yeah.
Custom label, custom SKU, custom
Custom label.
label. That's what it's called.
Yep. Custom labeling. So one of the actually, I'll do this. I'll do a screen share real quick just so the people that are watching can follow along.
All 7.
Yeah, all 7 people that are watching. So if I want to put, what do I want to sell? Sell an LSU lamp. Um, Obviously, there's no pre-filled information in there, so I'm gonna create a draft here. This right here, this custom label SKU, this is something that people will never see. Customers will never see. And eBay's description is, create a custom label to enter information you want to track, such as your own SKU number. So for my purposes, I don't do anything like special underscores, like price underscore whatever. Like it doesn't matter. So generally, what I do is I'll put cost. I'll put my cost first, and I never put the dollar sign. And the only reason why I don't put the dollar sign is because I always export all this to Excel, and it just helps not having that dollar sign there when you're exporting it into a column that you've already formatted to add that dollar sign for you. So you can kind of skip that. So for instance, if I paid $49.99 plus tax, that'll be 54, whatever, 54, say 54.89. That's my cost. And then, me in particular, I have bins, white bins, cardboard bins that I bought from Amazon. They're very, very inexpensive, but I've labeled all these bins. So, for instance, if item goes in bin 6, I just do that. So I have a cost 54.89 bin 6. And there's a lot of other times that I'll put in here, if it's something that when I'm listing, I'm like, if I don't sell this for 6 months, this might, kind of mix me up when I actually go looking for this. Is sometimes I'll put big box, orange. I had one the other day, orange envelope. So it just kind of helps you down the line when you're going to look for this stuff. So when you when you're listing, just kind of think, hey, if I don't sell this thing, for 6 months, am I going to be able to easily find this? Because you'd be surprised. I've lost things just because I just had no idea where they were, because I had either changed the location at some point or didn't write a good enough description. So I always put that on there. And the good thing now is that eBay, on your mobile app, it'll now show that custom label, so that if you're
Wait, are you sure? Is
yeah,
this new?
yeah,
Because it was not. I was listing all day, and it did not show me the custom label. Now, wait. Are you talking about when you make a listing, it'll allow you?
no,
Okay.
when it's sold, when the item is sold.
Why don't they allow you to do a custom label on the mobile?
I don't, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is,
It's
but
aggravating.
yeah. So I mean, it's very, it's very important to have that, taken care of. And so I'll kind of, I don't know. I don't want to. This has got customer information, but
Yeah.
when you do select the item that you sold, it'll have that custom label. So if your inventory is in a different room, and you can't be by your computer, it's super super handy because mine's in another area of the house, so I can just go on my phone and find the locations of items, rather quickly.
Huh. I haven't done that. I usually do. I just go on the computer, and most of my stuff's back here or in bins. You know, but most of them are pretty close.
Yep.
So I think that's about it. We've been on plenty of soapboxes, plenty of rants.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about any animals or anything. Oh, I did post the molester van pictures today.
Nice, nice. I saw that.
They are very creepy,
Very molesty.
very dark arts y.
It's just scary. Do you have one that you can screen share right now to show people? Like if
Let me see if I can. I think I can probably pull up my
or just
Instagram.
plug your Instagram account. Say, hey, go follow this.
Yeah, hey, go follow Road to
Like,
Resale.
subscribe, bell, ding.
Like Patreon. We don't have a Patreon.
Follow, wire me money, Western Union.
Yeah.
I'm a Nigerian prince.
Okay, shut up, please. Let's see.
Guess what? I got two things for you.
Whoa.
Two.
Can you hear that?
Uh-uh.
Oh, good. Okay. So you can't see that, but everyone else can see that. I don't know how to change the pictures on Instagram on Windows. There's an Instagram app. It's really crappy, but anyway, yeah. So that is kind of a little promo for the podcast number 6, which we actually talked about these molester vans in. Basically, I went a couple weeks ago to a guy's house, and he had these vans that he bought for his business, and he just hasn't gotten around to fixing them up and getting them on the road. So he entertained the thought of selling them. They're in pretty nice shape. One of the vans, the newer one, has 253,000 miles on it.
But for someone like you, those people don't know you're actually pretty good with cars and mechanical stuff. So, like, to me, there's no way in hell I would ever, do something like that because I just, I don't know, it'd be terrible. But I for someone like you could definitely, I could see you, being able to keep one of those things going.
Yeah. 253,000 miles is a lot of miles, though.
It's a lot.
even for somebody that has some mechanical aptitude, 250,000 miles, man, and it's a work van, and you don't know how those workers treated it,
Yeah.
I saw Wade's Ventures has this. I don't know if you saw that box truck he has. He has a box truck that, most box trucks open on the back, right? They have like a roll-up door. Well, this thing has a roll-up door on either side. What? So the whole side is a roll-up door on both sides.
Wow, that's cool. Wade's Ventures is one that I really like. I actually got to see him at eBay Open. This is like really cool, pretty genuine dude.
I was about to say, by his videos and stuff, I've never met him. I didn't go to eBay Open, but he really seems like a really nice, genuine guy.
Doesn't want to say anything.
Yeah,
I don't think.
And even if he did, I would kind of be okay with it because he's provided so much value to the community, man. Tons. I can't imagine what his work schedule looks like.
It's gotta be insane.
He does live videos several times a week, it seems, and
times a day, and almost like
yeah, goes live all the time on Instagram. He's killing it, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like him.
Did you see that? That haul they did the other day? I don't know if you saw it, but they were doing a storage unit. I don't know if it was him, Andre's Hunt, I think is the guy he was with, Instagram. But anyway, they live in Oregon, and I believe it's legal in Oregon. But they found all kinds of stuff in this storage unit. It was kind of cool. Some of it was kind of creepy, but they found the big mason jars. Yep. They found like 4 big mason jars of weed.
What?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, they live in Oregon, so I think it's even recreationally legal there. But yeah, I was like, man, that's pretty crazy. Like, who finds that in a storage unit? There was a lot of drug paraphernalia, like hard drug paraphernalia in that storage unit too. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah,
you have to check that one out.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking, kind of scrolling through his Instagram right now. He's got great stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, unless you got anything else, I mean, we can talk about my beard a little bit. It's getting into
bushy.
it's getting into hunting season. So, not that I haven't hunted in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
This being one of the years, I'm gonna try to go this year. Deer hunting. It's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss it.
It's fun. We should try to set something up. We should try to see if he'll let us, come out there this year.
Yeah.
Come down one weekend or
Screw
up.
around.
Yeah. Deer meat's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
it can be. We'll get into that on another podcast. All right, man. Well, I'd say again to all our viewers and listeners, if you like our content, if we provided a little bit of value to you, tell your friends, subscribe, share, like, swipe up, all that stuff that I don't really
down.
swipe left.
Yeah, swipe right. I don't know. One of those is good. One of them's bad.
That all happened after we
Yeah,
were
I'm
not
so-
single
I'm so
anymore.
glad. I'm
Yeah,
so glad.
me too. Dating. It seems like dating would be hard and easy right now.
I don't even want to know.
Probably hard because nobody's real online
I'm
anymore.
glad I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Out of that game.
yeah. If you don't straighten up, you may though.
That's very true. Like I said, would go for both of us.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's sign off. It's
All
good
right.
good talking to you. We'll do this again. We need to do it a little bit sooner.
I agree.
Uh,
I agree.
get these videos out there.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Yep.
people love us. Love
Hope
our
so.
rambling.
We ramble a lot, but
That's
such
what it
is
is.
life. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Go ahead and hang up.
Boop.